It's lovely. I think I came in, I walked in, and I was a part of the first panel for the day. I really liked the setup of the panel. It was a mixed group, and I think the questions were insightful, the response were insightful, and I really liked the energy in the audience, the kind of questions they were asking. It shows how buoyant the Indian retail industry currently is. So I'm enjoying myself so far. I think e-grocery is an interesting market that becomes a staple, right? The way I look at grocery is you may buy electronics once every 2 years, right? A smartphone or a television or a refrigerator. You may buy fashion accessories maybe once every couple of months. But grocery you have to buy every week, right? Every month you have to buy and you have to top up every week. So it's a very, very energizing market to be in. And since you specifically asked about e-grocery is going in growing in two segments. One is the traditional grocery, right? Typically, if you remember what happens in India, a ration comes once a month, right? When the salary comes, the head of the family gives the money, and the household manager goes and the housemaker will go and bring all the groceries, right? Worth whatever. That's how Indian families work. So there is traditional e-grocery happening. So companies like Amazon, JioMart, Big Boss continue to do that, and there is also impulse buying. I suddenly feel like having an ice cream. I'll open a quick commerce app, order for an ice cream, which comes to me in 10 minutes, and I'm enjoying a good ice cream, right? So both are growing pretty rapidly. You must have read reports about how quick commerce is growing. I think both are here to stay. It's the appetite of the company, it's the expectation from the customer that will define how this industry will evolve. But I'm very excited. JioMart started as a e-grocer. We started a journey selling groceries, and we continue to be the largest. That continues to be the largest segment for us. We are very buoyant and energized about e-grocery. That will continue to be a focus for JioMart as well. No, absolutely. I think one of the things that we realized is as the Indian e-commerce market grew, it grew in certain pockets, right? We talk about many Bharats. I think one part of the Bharat is the metros where the adoption for e-commerce, adoption for grocery shopping online has grown pretty fast in the metros. What's recently been happening is penetration in tier 2 plus has been growing. I cannot comment on other apps, but for JioMart, even though we are predominantly a grocery led destination, 60 to 70% of our business comes from tier 1 plus, tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities, etc. So I think there is a lot of meat there. Those markets are underpenetrated. The advantage we see as Reliance Retail is there may be some kind of a skepticism when customers in tier 2 cities want to maybe place an order on Amazon or Flipkart. These are alien companies, they've heard about it in maybe the last 5 to 6 years. But when it comes to Reliance, they've been hearing about Reliance as a company and Jio as a brand for more than a decade. So we believe that we have an advantage there, and the way to capture that market is to ensure that we are giving our best service. That's the only thing customers care about. So what we'd like to do is we'd like to promise what we can deliver, and once we promised, we will deliver it. This is the motto that we are going to use, and our focus is going to be all Bharats, specifically tier 2 plus markets. Common between tier metro and tier 2? No, I think it's just the overall penetration that is going. More and more people want to shop online, and it is omni-channel. I'll tell you, right, the biggest thing that we've assumed, right, until COVID, the way Indian market grew globally also, the trend was like everybody is going to shop online. Nobody is going to come offline and shop anymore. They want apps, and we'll buy online. That was how it was until 2019. Then COVID hit. In through COVID, we suddenly saw a surge in e-commerce. There was lockdown across the globe, shops were shut, so more and more people bought online. And then we thought, hey, post COVID, it's going to be tough for us to revive the offline market. But nothing like that happened. As soon as the lockdown was over, start 2022, 2023, the offline sales zoomed. They are back to where we were, and they are back to never before levels. That's one of the biggest trends that we've observed as Reliance Retail, that offline is here to stay. Even through COVID, where offline went completely south and online increased, post COVID, it has again stabilized. So I think I'm very confidently saying that both offline and online are here to stay. That's exactly why JioMart will adopt an omni-channel strategy. Will be on both worlds. Absolutely. See, one of the things that we'll all need to acknowledge is in a landscape like India, small and medium businesses are the backbone for the economy, right? I mean, for two ways, right? They continue to contribute about 30% of GDP, which is one of the largest contributors to the country's GDP. And if you want to be a $5 trillion economy, $10 trillion economy, then this 30% it becomes very important. Second thing you need to observe is, as a country, as an economy, if we have to grow, then the contribution to jobs, contribution to workforce becomes very important. Imagine an SMB, there's about 70, 80 crore SMBs across India, across everything, right? Services, products, everything. An SMB is not an individual, right? There will be larger SMBs may employ 1,000 people, smaller SMBs employing even 1 or 2 people. Imagine a puncture shop or a small kirana store, there will be one chotu. While there is a person who's looking at the till, there's one chotu who's taking care of the stuff, right? That's average 2 people are getting employed. So if it's 70, 80 crore people, even if 2 to 3 people are being employed by this industry, we're talking about 300, 400 crore of the billion employable workforce. If you look at the age, not even education, it's just the age. So about 30, 40% of the employment is provided by the SMB. So that becomes a very important segment. Now when you look at an e-commerce shopper, the what you get offline is limited by space. Walk into a kirana store, you walk into a fashion store or a food stall, what you see is limited by space. 1,000 square feet means jitna bhi aayega utna hi aayega, not more than that. Whereas online it is endless aisle. And to give an endless aisle, you will need the support of SMBs. And imagine this thing, if I have to buy a particular sari being made in Banaras, I'll have to go to Banaras. Or the sari from Banaras gets exported, comes to somewhere in Bangalore or Hyderabad, and I'm purchasing from an offline store at an exorbitant price. What if I'm able to create a supply? The Banaras sari from Banaras is directly sold on JioMart or any other online portal, right? It makes it easier for customers to access it. I'm not going to go to Banaras for the sari, but I have access to that product. Sari may be a wrong example, but everything like dry fruits, ghee being made in Haryana is being sold in Chennai. Our largest seller from a third party is ghee being sold from Haryana, sent to someone in Chennai, a customer in Chennai. So SMBs are important. We cannot afford to ignore, and JioMart is a complete pure marketplace. We are very excited. We have close to 60,000 SMBs already onboarded, and the number will grow. We are completely excited about that.